Hello, Facebook and YouTube. Lesson 13. This is the 13th live mini lesson. This is called Beefing Up Your Fills with Doubles on the Kick. This is going to be a fun one. This is Spencer Kim Lessons, and I'm here to help you tackle your goals on the drums. This is going to be a cool one. So, 13th lesson. Here we are. I wanted to do this series, not the series, but this lesson just to give you some ideas on things you can work on to incorporate your kick in your fills so that you're not just left with patterns on your hands. I know it can be easy to have that as your go-to, like your go-to way of doing fills is just doing stuff with your hands until you really work through some patterns with your kick. Maybe this is familiar territory to you, but maybe you'll see a couple different ways to apply this. And there's actually a ton you can do with these patterns. The idea is doubles, 2 on the hands, 2 on the kick. So the double on the hands is broken up between the right and the left. I'm going to be leading mostly with my right, but definitely take these a step further in the practice room and use your left to lead. So the concept is pretty simple. We're playing 16th notes, and we're dividing those in that way. I'm going to pull up the notation here, and we're going to get right to it. So there are a lot of benefits, a lot of different ways to break up these rhythms. There's 4 variations or permutations of this, if you want to say. But beyond that, you can mix them up, you can combine them, you can shorten them, you can start them on different points in the measure. So don't just think of these as like 4 fills that you can do. And of course there's the orchestration, like where you're placing the notes on the kit, the voicing of the notes. We're not limited to just the snare. Okay, here's the notation. You can see A, B, C, D. Looks like my picture-in-picture is covering up the letter A, so that's that. So I'm going to get right to it. Click is at 90, and I'm just going to play them as written, snare and kick. I'm going to be playing right hand lead. So it's going to be right, left, kick, kick, right, left, kick, kick, right, left, kick, kick, right, left, kick, kick. This one is a little unique because it ends with 2 kicks. So if you're going to play this as a fill, you're left with playing 2 kicks followed by another kick with the crash, which is usually going to be too fast. So you can either play 4 snares at the end, or you can drop the last kick, but you're probably not going to want to play 3 kicks in a row. So let's hear what this one sounds like. So this is our tempo. So it'll sound like this. 2, 3, 4. So dropping that last kick will sound like this. Or adding the last 2 snares. Moving it around. Let me try some other ideas. So you get the idea that there's a lot of different ways you can voice this fill. Let's move on to B. This one's an inverted version of this. It starts with 1 on the hand and then followed by the 2 on the kick. So against the click, 2, 3, 4. It'll sound like that. As a righty, it feels most natural to do right, left, right, left, right. But again, try them both ways. Whoops. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go to the next one. We have 2 on the kick is our start. Sounds like this. 2, ready, go. All right, and last one starts with the 1 on the kick. So it's kind of the inversion of beat C, or letter C. Sounds like this. All right, so those are the 4 variations. I'm going to give you a few different ways to apply these. And I actually already mentioned a handful of them. Leading with the left, you have starting at different points in the measure. So, for example, you could start on beat 2 or 3 or 4 and shorten them. Or you could start on any 16th. You could start on the of 2 or the E of 1, whatever it is, and see how that affects the sound of it. And before I speed it up to demonstrate, I'm going to try playing both hands together because as you get faster, obviously it's really hard to play 2 on both hands together. So let's go back to this view and I'll try the 4 variations with both hands. And it doesn't have to be crazy fancy like you're moving every single note around. You can play, sounds pretty solid to play snare and a crash or a crashy ride or these 2, whatever it is. Okay, so let's try these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do the same one. Okay, moving on to B. And let's try C. And let's do D. Sorry, that was B. Switch to D. All right, so that's the 2 hands together. Lastly, I'm just going to play the whole thing again a little faster to give you some, to give you an idea of what it sounds like faster. You can play these as fast as you want. I just want you to keep in mind that as you're speeding it up, these are commonly really jumbled and sound just really sloppy, just because it's hard to get the timing really clean. Like some of the demonstrations I did were actually not that clean, but this is live, so just keep that in mind, that you want everything even, and so on. And then also, the playing doubles on the kick is kind of a topic in itself, so I'm not going to totally get into that. But just make sure those doubles are sounding even in their velocity, da-da, da-da, and not, da-da, 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 or da-da, da-da. Sometimes it makes sense to emphasize the second one, or maybe even the first one, but as you're working on them, try to just keep it really straight. And then same thing with the hands, keep them even in their timing and velocity. So you can work from slow to fast. Check your stick height. Okay, so I'm going to play it at 120, and I'm going to go through all 4 of those. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Let's try B. Okay, and moving on to C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Sorry, messed up. 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's play D. Okay, so that's the main idea. Those 4 patterns can be shifted all around the kit in all those different ways. Be sure to experiment with them. See what you can come up with, and keep it really even. Keep all those parts of it in mind. And there's a lot you can do with these. I will say that this is a fill that can easily not only sound sloppy, but can just be overdone. So just keep it in mind that you want to use it as musically as possible, and this probably isn't your best go-to fill for every song you play. So just use your musical discretion. Yeah, I hope you got something out of this. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. And if you want to grow your skills in the drums this summer, you can contact me through spencerkimlessons.com. I do private lessons through Zoom and FaceTime, so hit me up through there, and I will see you on the next one.